Hello, everyone. Welcome to Game 1 of the 1986 National League Championship Series. This was played out by the Stratomatic computer. It's a culmination of our NBC Game of the Week for 1986. And in the NLCS, we're using inside pitch. The ALCS, we're going to be using payoff pitch. And the way the computer did it was they played it out, and it came out to be the exact NLCS that the National League really had, which was the Mets and the Astros. So we're going to go with that. I'm going to use as-played lineups, as-played rosters, and basically just recreate what has happened. Now, in the American League, it's going to be the Yankees and the Angels, not the Red Sox and the Angels. So the 25-man rosters and the lineups are all going to be just whatever I come up with. I'm not beholden to anything because there's no replay value there. They never played each other in the ALCS, so that's the way it goes. All right. Let's meet the starting lineups for Game 1 of this NLCS.
Hider of the Mets offense. He stole 31 bases. Number 4, center fielder Len Dykstra. Batting second. He hit a career-high .320 during the regular season. Number 6, second baseman Wally Backman. Batting third. He finished among the league leaders in batting average, hits, runs, and game-winning RBIs. Number 17, first baseman Keith Hernandez. Batting fourth, the only Mets player to knock in 100 or more runs in 2 seasons. Number 8, catcher Gary Carter. Batting fifth, he became the first National Leaguer to be voted a starter on the All-Star team in each of his first 3 Major League seasons. Number 18, right fielder Darryl Strawberry. Batting sixth, he's been with the Mets longer than any other current Mets player. Number 1, left fielder Mookie Wilson. Batting seventh, the 8th leading hitter in the National League. Number 22, third baseman Ray Knight. Batting 8th, he hit .280 in the last 33 games of the season. Number 3, shortstop Rafael Santana. Batting ninth and warming up in the bullpen, the 1985 Cy Young Award winner, number 16, Dwight Gooden. And now for your Western Division champion, Houston Astros. The manager, number 22, Hal Lanier. Leading off, he was second on the club in the National League in stolen bases, number 28, center fielder Billy Hatcher. Batting second, he led the Astros in walks, runs, and stolen bases, number 19, second baseman Bill Doran. Batting third, he set career highs in every offensive category of the season, number 29, third baseman Danny Walling. Batting fourth, the second Astro ever to hit 30 home runs in a season, number 27, first baseman Glenn Davis. Batting fifth, he had the 4th highest batting average in the National League, number 17, right fielder Kevin Bass. Batting sixth, 4-time Astros most valuable player, number 25, left fielder Jose Cruz. Batting seventh, he has caught 3 no-hitters in his Major League career, number 14, catcher Alan Ashby. Batting eighth, a native Houstonian who's making his 2nd league championship appearance, number 12, shortstop Greg Reynolds. Batting ninth and warming up in the bullpen, he became only the 2nd right-hander and 4th National League hurler to strike out 300 batters in a season, number 33, Mike Scott.
All right, everybody. Those are the starting lineups for the 1986 NLCS game number 1. Here you also have the benches and the bullpens for both teams. You got Thon, Garner, Lopes, Pankovitz from the right side, Mizarok, Dreesen, and Poole from the left side for the Astros. For the Mets, they have 4 right-handers, Tuffle, Mitchell, Elster, and Hearn, switch hitters Mazzilli and Johnson, and left-hander Danny Heap. In the bullpen for the Astros, all right-handers except for one. We got Kerfeld, Anderson, Lopez, Darwin, and Smith, with lefty Jeff Calhoun. For the Mets, they have four righties and 2 lefties. Sisk, Aguilera, McDowell, and Anderson from the right side, Neiman and Orozco from the left side. So hopefully all the pomp and circumstances out of the way, we can get down to some baseball. Tabby is close by. I've already had to set her down once before I even started recording, so hopefully she will stay in her place. Got the board set up here. Didn't have anything for the outs, so I just cut out a little something, and hopefully that's good enough. I'm going to be using the inside pitch cards as base runners. Got our line score right here, so hopefully everything is copacetic. Mike Scott will be finishing up the warm-up tosses, and Len Dykstra will be taking his spot at bat. I do have the Astros colored dice, white and orange, with the blue D20. And now I need to see something and see if Lenny Dykstra, I need to move this up, don't I? I need to move this over so that we can fit everybody in. Actually, the Astrodome I'm going to put up here and pull it in when I need it. That way you can fit all the cards. Now Lenny Dykstra will be in play, and we will be set to go from the Astrodome. Astrodome adds 1 to strikeouts, takes away 1 for walks, adds nothing to home runs. I do have the game, I'm scoring it over here, so I'll be able to keep track of everything. Sometimes when I do these games, I don't actually score them because I was just concentrating on this, but now particularly I want to make sure that I know how many batters the pitcher has faced, and just the ratings are right here in front of me on the scoreboard or scorebook, so that I don't have to keep cross-referencing them. I'm going to look one more time. I think everything is in place. Now Gracie the dog is making herself known. Let me pause the video so I can get her straight. All right, we are now ready to go. Decided to record this one and upload it. And then, of course, on Saturday, I plan to upload this, I think, on Friday. I may do it. I'm recording it Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday evening, rather. I may upload it tomorrow, Thursday, or I may upload it Friday. I haven't decided. Of course, on Saturday morning, about 11 o'clock Saturday morning, it'll be the live stream of the American League Championship Series Game 1 between the Yankees and the Angels on payoff pitch. But right now, we're at inside pitch. And Mike Scott has finished warm-up tosses. Lenny Dykstra is stretched and ready to go. And NLCS 1986 from replay from the game of the week is now underway. It's a 6-5, and that's a walk chance. 2, and Lenny Dykstra will draw the leadoff walk. So right away, Lenny Dykstra draws the leadoff walk, and they were talking in the pregame of the broadcast about how both catchers aren't very good at holding base runners. They both have +1 arms. And then Mike Scott's a +4 on the hold, so he's definitely not good at holding base runners. So to get the jump, Dykstra is a 5, but that changes to a 9 with the +4 from Scott. So let's see if he can get the jump. He does. It's a 6, so Lenny Dykstra will be looking to steal. He's got a 16, +1 from Scott's a 17, +1 from Ashby is a 18. 1 to 18, he makes it. It's a 19. Boy, go through all that rigmarole, and Lenny Dykstra gets thrown out. Alan Ashby says, take that. So how do you like that? Caught stealing. It's going to go 2 to 6 as Reynolds puts on the tag. And second place hitter Wally Backman was looking to possibly get an RBI opportunity with Dykstra at second. Just didn't work out. So caught stealing. Boy, the D20 are evil. That's the way it's been lately. Here's Wally Backman. 5-2, and that's a hit by pitch chance. But he's a -6, so no hit by pitch. So Backman will swing. 3-2, and that's a ground ball to second for out number 2. So the caught stealing on Dykstra kind of took the starch out of the Mets' first inning, it appears. But here's Keith Hernandez. 6-5, again, it's a walk chance, but 17 is too high. He's a 16, -1's a 15. So 17 does not fit. But Hernandez will swing. 4-5, he's going to double to left field. How about that? Keith Hernandez with a 2-out double. And boy, now how big is that caught stealing? That cost him a run for sure. And that'll bring up Gary Carter. Now, Hernandez can't run anywhere, but there's a pickoff chance. So we see if we get a 20. We do not, so nothing's going on. So here's Gary Carter. 4-2 on Scott is a strikeout plus, or a super strikeout as RJL calls it. So we add 10 to Carter's rating. It becomes a 17. Plus 1's an 18. That 5 definitely fits. He would have struck out without the plus. So Mike Scott strikes out Gary Carter to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Mets here in the first. And I believe that caught stealing just pretty much took the starch out of whatever the Mets had going on. And I'm sure Dykstra shocked as much as anybody. So here comes Dwight Gooden. He will start the bottom of the first against the Astros' Billy Hatcher. And again, Gooden's a +1 hold rating with a +2 on the steal. And Gary Carter's a +1. So base running or base stealing could be prevalent in this game. Here's Billy Hatcher. 3-6 is a range play. Go to Hatcher's card. 3-2, that's a question mark 8. So we have to resolve the range play and then the result. Do the result, then the range play, my bad. Question mark 8 against the righties only goes to 8, but that's a 4. That's a double to center field, potentially. Double to center, but we are a range check on Dykstra, and Dykstra's range is a 4. I'm sorry, that's his run rating. Dykstra's range, yep, it sure is. It's a 4. I had it right the first time. So it is a 4. So 1-4, he will take this double away. And he does. So Denny Dykstra robs Hatcher of a potential double. And that's one of the great things about this game is you get these range plays that take hits and turn them into outs, or take outs and put them into hits. Here's Billy Doran, or as Chris Berman used to call him, Bill Duran Doran. 5-3, strikeout chance. That's a 1. He's toast. 2 down. When you get a 1 on the D20, you're struck out. I don't care who you are. There's 2 down very quickly for Denny Walling, a 300 hitter. And surprising, he had 5 range at third base. That's definitely a surprise. Gooden, 4-4 is a blank. We go to Denny Walling. 1-4 is a ground ball to second. The inning's over. So a pedestrian 1-2-3 inning for Dwight Gooden. As putting it away was Backman. And we go to the top of the second. No score from the Astrodome. And Mike Scott back out, and he'll be facing Darryl Strawberry to start things off. Power on power right here. 1-4. That's a strikeout plus or a super strikeout, and Strawberry is gone. 1 away. Second strikeout from Mike Scott. That'll bring up Mookie Wilson. 3-4. That is another strikeout possibility. That's a 10. So he's out on strikes. So back 3 strikeouts in a row from Mike Scott. He's got the strikeout pitch going. And with 2 outs and the bases clear, here's Ray Knight. 3-5. And that is a super walk to a lefty, but to a righty, it is simply a blank. So we go to Knight's card. 6-5. It's a double star 1, which is simply a ground ball to second. And Doran handles it easily. Over to Glenn Davis, and it's a 1-2-3 top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second, still no score. And to be expected, when you got pitchers like Scott and Gooden, runs are at a premium, I imagine. I didn't look at I should have looked it up. I didn't look at the score of the real game, so should have done that, and I didn't. Here's Glenn Davis. 6-5, that's a walk chance, and he will draw the base on ball. So Glenn Davis, first base runner for the Astros. It is a Glenn Davis walk. His attempt is only a 1, but Gooden's going to add 1 to it to make it a 2. But nothing's happening. So Glenn Davis will stand pat for Kevin Bass. 1-3 is a possible wild pitch. That's a 14, though. It's too high, just ball 1. 1-1 is a strikeout chance. 13 is too high. We go to Kevin Bass to finish the at-bat. 2-1 is a question mark 8. That's a 15. That is a triple against a right-hander. Kevin Bass, an RBI triple off of Dwight Gooden. And the Astros take a 1-0 lead. And boy, how many times those leadoff walks come back to bite you. Now, with Bass at third, do you play the infield in against a pitcher like Mike Scott? That's the question. I think you kind of have to because runs are going to be at a premium. So I usually don't like to play the infield in unless there's at least one out, but I don't think there's much of a choice. He's a base run rating of 4. By playing the infield in, we drop him to a 2, so it's less likely he would score on any kind of a ground out. So the infield's in, but the range of all the infielders has been dropped now by 2. So you're taking your chances is all we're saying. It's risk-reward right here for Jose Cruz. And first we roll for the strategy roll. Nothing happening. Gooden needs a strikeout in the worst way. 5-2. He won't get it. He will get a double. He will get an asterisk, though, for an automatic out. The question is, what kind of out is it? It's a 6, which is a fly to left. That's a potential sacrifice fly. Cruz's sacrifice fly rating is a 1. And it's not going to work that way. Bass runs at a 4. The infield in doesn't affect the sacrifice fly running. So he's a 4. The outfield arm, Mookie Wilson, is a +1. +1 arm makes it a 5. So 1 to 5, he will come in and score on the sac fly. And he does. So Kevin Bass scores on the sacrifice fly by Jose Cruz. And the Astros now lead it 2-0. 2-0. It all started with the leadoff walk. Go figure. All right, so 1 out now. Bases are clear, but 2 are in for Alan Ashby. And Gooden has to regroup and hope his mates can get some runs off of Mike Scott. 5-3, that's a strikeout chance, and he got him, so Ashby is out of there. Out number 2. Actually second strikeout for Gooden. Here's Craig Reynolds. 6-2, and that's another strikeout chance, and he got him again with that 1. So, well, D20's been interesting the whole game. But the Astros strike for 2 runs, and at the end of 2, it's 2-0 Houston. And boy, giving Mike Scott a 2-0 lead is setting yourself up for failure if you're the Mets. It'll be Santana, Gooden, and Dykstra due up against Mike Scott. That's a 6-5. That's a walk chance, so he will walk Rafael Santana, and that sets up Gooden to be able to bunt. Perfect situation for him to do a sacrifice. I'm not worried about strategy rolls because when I want to bunt in a situation like this, I want to bunt. We will roll to see if there's a pickoff chance, though. Nope, no pickoff. All right, so Mike Scott's going to pitch it to Gooden. Infield's in at the corner, so Gooden's bunt rating drops to a 3. But first, we're going to see if we get a strikeout. 1-2 is a super strikeout, so that will be a strikeout, I do believe. I know you. Let's look at the bunt sacrifice bunt chart and see what we're looking at. Let's see here. All right, you cut in half the strikeout chances. Okay. It is a strikeout or super strikeout chance. So he's a 12. It goes to a 22. You cut it in half, make it an 11. But that 10's there, so that's a strikeout. Gooden's going to strike out trying to bunt for out number 1. That'll bring up Lenny Dykstra. Strategy roll again. Nothing happening. So here's Dykstra. He walked but was caught stealing his last time up. Mike Scott, 6-1's automatic out on a star line. And the out is a 3. Ground ball to first. Possible double play. Not likely, though. He's a 2. You don't get anything with the infield being halfway because it was hit to first, so there's no problem there, or no addition there. Pitcher's a 0, so it's still a 2. And then you look at the pivot man, in this case Craig Reynolds, and his pivot is a 0. So it's a 2 only. 1 or 2 is the only way you get the double play. It is a 2. It is going to be a double play. It's a 3-6-3 double play to end the inning. And boy, when you double up a guy like Lenny Dykstra, you're really doing something. But on this AstroTurf, that can happen. It goes 3-6-3, and even got Gracie excited to bark. So it's a 3-6-3 double play to end the inning. I can't control what animals do, so if there's noises in the background, What can I say? I'm just happy she's still around to make noises. So, all right, here is Mike Scott, the pitcher, to lead things off here in the bottom of the third. 5-5 is a possible error on the ground ball. 4-1's a straight-up strikeout on Scott's card. Obviously, he struck out quite a bit if he's got strikeouts on his own grid. So he's out of there, 1 away. And now Gooden has struck out 3 in a row, going back to last inning. Back to the top of the order for Billy Hatcher. He flied to center his first chance. 6-2 is another strikeout chance, but 13 is way too high. Go to Hatcher. 5-2 is going to ground to short, and that is out number 2. Santana makes the play. 2 down for Bill Doran. He struck out his first chance. Gooden's got 4 strikeouts already, but he's trailing 2-0. 3-6 is a range play. Go to Doran. 1-2, and again, we got to first negotiate the question mark, then do the range. 1-2 is a question mark 8. It goes to 14. That's a 5. That would be a double to center field, but again, Len Dykstra, a range of 4 can take away that double. And he does. Second time in a row, he has come through to save the Mets from further damage by ranging and getting extra base hits taken away. That's the second double that the Astros have lost due to a range play. So we go to the 4th inning. Still 2-0 Astros. And Wally Backman will lead things off for the Mets. He grounded to second his first trip. 6-6 is another range play, this time for the Astros. 5-6, that's a question mark 7. So again, we're doing the same routine. Question mark 7 for Backman. It goes through an 18. That's a 15, so that would be a double to left field. But we're checking the range of Jose Cruz. And Jose Cruz's range, look at his card, he is a 4. So not quite as good as Dykstra, but still capable. But he can't get it this time. That's a 6. So that will be a failed range play, and that will be a double for Wally Backman. So Backman with a leadoff double, and the Mets are in business here against Mike Scott. Tying run coming to the plate in Keith Hernandez. Strategy roll, nothing happening. 3-3, and that's a home run question mark against a lefty. That's a 1-12, but that fails. So Hernandez will not get the home run chance, but he will swing. 4-1's a fly to left, 1 away. Now Backman, to get from second to third on a fly to left, you do lose 3 points off your run rating, which drops him to a 1. And then Cruz's arm is a +1, so that's still making a 1-2 to get to third base. He cannot, so he's got a hold there. So he can't quite get there. And down by 2, you don't want to really take a chance, I guess. So Gary Carter's the batter. Carter, he struck out his first chance. Strategy roll, nothing happening. .64, that is a super strikeout again, and Gary Carter is out of there, even though it's a 1. Well, the 1's going to do it anyway without the super strikeout, but he is definitely on a super strikeout right there. He is gone. 2 down, and it's up to Darryl Strawberry to get it done for the Mets, or they're going to waste this Wally Backman double. 1-6, it's a range play, but with 2 outs, the infield's back to normal. 4-6, that is going to be a potential double to left field, so Jose Cruz will get yet another chance to make a range play and take this double away from Strawberry. He is a 4 range. Last time he rolled a 6, he couldn't do it. He needs a 4 or less to make the catch. And he does this time. So Jose Cruz robs Darryl Strawberry of the double. And that's going to end the inning. Nice play, Jose Cruz. He said, "Jose, can you see me make that play?" So the Mets are gone. In the top of the 4th, we go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 2-0. And Denny Walling will be the leadoff hitter for the Astros, followed by Davis and Bass. Walling grounded to second his first trip. 5-6. That's a home run question mark. 1-13. It passes. So a 1-19 for Denny Walling, and he hits a home run. Boy, Gooden just put one in the wheelhouse, and apparently Denny Walling doesn't look like he wants to miss it. The only way this is not a home run is to roll a 20. Kaboom! It is gone. Denny Walling cracks one. He only had 13 home runs last year, or in that year. All of them came against right-handers, so that's why the high number there. Thank goodness he had enough at bats against lefties to have split cards done, or else that might have been a little tainted. But as it is, Denny Walling, leadoff home run, and the Astros grab a 3-0 lead on Dwight Gooden, and he is perplexed how this is happening to the great Dwight Gooden. 5-6 is a home run question mark again, and it passes on a 1-9. Roll the same thing. It's gone. 20. It's automatic. Home run. Kaboom! Glenn Davis, back-to-back jacks. And the Astros now grab a 4-0 lead here in the fourth on back-to-back jacks. We rolled the 5-6 twice in a row. The D20 passes the check. He's a 20 automatically. Stadium doesn't take anything away. It's automatic. Back-to-back jacks, and now the bullpen for the Mets starting to loosen. Looks like they got left-handed action Randy Neiman down there. Gooden rather. 3-2 is a possible error on a throw. 2-3 from Bass is a fly to right. No throw necessary, no error. It is the first out. After those back-to-back jacks, here's Jose Cruz. 5-1, and that's a strikeout chance. 10 will get him. He's a 9. The stadium adds one, though, makes it a 10. So Jose Cruz down on strikes for out number 2. Brings up Alan Ashby. Now, I think Ashby kind of set the tone for the game when he threw out Lenny Dykstra trying to steal. I think that just kind of took the starch out of the Mets altogether and gave the Astros life. 4-4 is a blank. We go to Ashby. 3-1, fly to center to end the inning, but damage done as 2 runs come across the plate. And at the end of 4, it is Houston 4 and the Mets nothing. And boy, you got to wonder, Dwight Gooden's set to bat 4th this inning. Would they pinch hit for Gooden this early? But he hasn't been effective, so you may have to, especially if you got guys on base. Here's Mookie Wilson. He struck out his first chance. 4-1, possible error. 6-1 is a single to center field. Billy Hatcher's error rating in center field is only a 5, so the 11's too high. It will be a straight-out single to center for Mookie Wilson. So leadoff single by Wilson. And boy, do you dare tempt fate on trying to steal again? Well, it's a 9. He could if he wanted to, because that's a 6, that's a 4, it's a 10. 9 fits, so if he wants to steal, it'd be a 1-18. Boy, they can't get caught twice, can they? 1-18, he makes it. He does. So this time he does make it, and we're down 4-0. You better make it. So Mookie Wilson steals second base, gets into scoring position, takes the double play out of the order. Strategy roll again, nothing happening. Here's Ray Knight. Scott, 6-5 is a walk chance. 15 is too high. We go to Ray Knight. 6-3 on Ray Knight's a star 4, which is a ground ball to third. And the only way Mookie Wilson will make it is if this is a 6. It is not. He will have to hold. So holding there at second base is Mookie Wilson. 1 down for Rafael Santana. 1, so he would get a chance to steal third base, which could be big because with less than 2 outs, you like to get there. His attempt is a 6, it's a 10, but then you cut it in half, it's a 5, but that 1 fits. So again, it'd be a 1-18 to steal third. They're going to do it. He's in there. So Mookie Wilson trying to do it all himself. He singles and he steals second and steals third, with Santana still at the plate with 1 out. And now let's see what happens here on the strategy roll. Nothing happening. Scott to Santana. Infield is back. They'll give it the run to get the out. 4-6. But that's a super strikeout, and Santana is gone. 2 down. Now here's where the decisions come into play that you don't get in the American League with the DH. You got that decision. Do you let Dwight Gooden, who's an 086 hitter, hit when he needs some runs, and you're down 4-0, but do you take out your ace after just 4 innings, although he is struggling? I think Davey Johnson's they got to pull him. They need offense. So you hate to take Gooden out this early, but I really don't think they have much of a choice, to be quite honest with you. And they're going to go to the bench, and they're going to pull in. Who do they want to use here? They're going to use their best pinch hitter, average-wise. That's a lefty. And that is actually the best average-wise, period. And that's Danny Heap. So they're going to use Danny Heap right here. They need a base hit in the worst way. Danny Heap will pinch hit. Boy, don't think about taking Gooden out after 4 innings, do you? But that's where we're at if you're the Mets, because you're down 4-0. So Scott with the strategy roll. Nothing happening. Scott the pitch to Heap. 3-3. Home run question mark. 1-12. It passes. Danny Heap's a 10. A 1-10, and we got a 2-run bomb. It's gone. Kaboom! Boy, Davey Johnson just pulled the right trigger. A pinch hit home run from Danny Heap, and the lead has been cut in half to 4-2. Wow, and now the Astrodome crowd's a little bit stunned. Or as RJL would say, stadium groans. Although I'm not going to make those sound effects. It's 4-2 ball game. It's not a brand new game, but it's getting closer. 4-2. And let's see about Dykstra. See if he can get 2-out magic going for himself. Scott's got to regroup. 5-3 is a walk chance, but that's a 20. Too high for that. Dykstra will swing. 1-3 is a liner hard, but right to the shortstop Reynolds to end the inning. But the Mets do pick up 2 runs. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 4-2 in favor of the Astros. And now the Mets need a pitcher. For the Astros, it is Reynolds, Scott, and Hatcher. First 2 are right-handed. So they're going to go to a righty out of the pen. And they probably need somebody with a little bit of length. So they're going to go with Rick Aguilera. Normally, a lot of times he was a starter, but in the series, he was a reliever. So Rick Aguilera will be coming on to try to keep things where they are. He was 10-7 with a 3.88 ERA. He did have 8 relief appearances. He can face 12 batters, so he can definitely eat some innings if he has to. So Rick Aguilera is on for the Mets here in the bottom of the 5th as they trail it 4-2. And the leadoff man will be Craig Reynolds, number 8 hitter. Five, 6, and against the lefty, it's a blank. So we go to Reynolds. 3-6 is going to fly to right, 1 away. So 1 down as Strawberry puts it away. And that brings up the pitcher, Mike Scott. He struck out his first chance. 1-5 is going to strike out again. So 2 down. For the top of the order, and Billy Hatcher. Hatcher's flown to center in the first and grounded to short in the third. 2-1, double question mark against a right-hander. 1-4 is an automatic single, but that's a 13, so we treat it as a blank. And go to Hatcher. 5-3 is a ground ball to second. Backman takes care of it. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Rick Aguilera. So at least initially, that move to the pinch hitter, Danny Heap, and taking Gooden out seems to be paying off handsomely for the Mets. As we go now to the top of the 6th. I'm sorry, the bottom of the 6th, rather. No, top of the 6th. We're right. I was right the first time. Wally Backman's going to be leading things off. It'll be Backman, Hernandez, and Carter, heart of the order, here in the top of the 6th, as the Mets trail at 4-2 here in Game 1 of the NLCS. 1-3, and against the switch hitter batting left, that's a blank, so Backman will get a chance. 5-2, he's going to fly to center, 1 away. So Backman is retired. Here's Keith Hernandez. 6-4, that is a blank again to a lefty. Would have been a strikeout plus to a righty, but against a lefty, it's a blank. Hernandez, 3-2. He's going to, against a right-hander, ground to first for out number 2. Against a lefty, he would have actually gotten a single on that. 2 down now for Gary Carter. And Carter struck out both times. He has trouble with Mike Scott. 5-5, he's going to have trouble again. Super strikeout. Gary Carter gets the hat trick, strikes out all 3 times. So he's out of there, and so are the Mets. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still 4-2. Favor the Astros. Aguilera back out, second inning of work. He'll be facing Doran, Walling, and Davis. Heart of the order for the Astros. 6-4 against a switch hitter. That's a blank. Go to Doran. 2-3 for Doran is a fly to left. That's out number 1. Mookie Wilson puts it away. 1 down for Denny Walling. And a big home run in the 4th to lead off. Was the beginning of the end for Gooden. 2-4 is a potential walk, but that's too high. We'll go to Walling. 5-4 is going to ground to second. Backman's there, 2 down. And here's Glenn Davis, who also homered in his last trip. 3-1 from Aguilera is a potential error on a throw. 3-3 is a single to third. Now let's see if there's going to be an error involved. We go to our error throw chart, and a single to third is a number 9 on the chart, which says infield single with 1 extra base advancement on bad throw. Otherwise, everyone only gets 1 base total. So, error on a throw, but that's a 19, and Ray Knight nowhere near error rating that high. He's only 11. So there is no error on the throw, but it will be a base hit for Glenn Davis. So Glenn Davis does get a 2-out single, but again, no error as Hernandez prevented that from scampering by him. Strategy roll, actually a chance for a balk, so we'll keep it on there. No 20 though, so nothing going on. Aguilera, 2-1, double question mark, Bass, switch hitter batting left. It is a 1-9 for a single, but that's a 14, so it fails. And we go to Kevin Bass for the final result. 5-3. He's going to ground to second. Backman, since it's already 2 outs, he'll just throw to first to end the inning. No sense messing around with the force play. Just a 4-3 ground out. And we're done with 6 innings here at the Astrodome in Game 1 of the 1986 NLCS. It is the Astros holding a 4-2 lead. Mike Scott will come out for the top of the 7th. So far, Scott has faced 22 batters. He can face 29, so he's still in good shape. And Darryl Strawberry will try to get things going. He's 0 for 2. He struck out in the 2nd and flew to left in the 4th. 6-6, and that's a range play. So we go to Strawberry's card for a range play. 4-4, and again, it's a question mark, so we've got to resolve both issues. Question mark 8 here to center. Against a righty, it goes to 18. That's a 9. That would be a triple to center field for Darryl Strawberry unless Billy Hatcher can take it away on a range play. Billy Hatcher, his range is a 3. So a 3 or less, and he can take this triple away from Strawberry. And he does. Boy, Billy Hatcher just robbed Darryl Strawberry, and Strawberry is just kicking the ground like a la Joe DiMaggio in the, I believe it was the 56 or 55 World Series. He thought he had a triple, but Billy Hatcher had other ideas. He makes the play. 1 down for, actually should be Mookie Wilson, not Ray Knight. Got them a little bit out of order there. Don't want anybody batting out of turn. It is Mookie Wilson to bat. And he did everything he could to help the Mets last time. He singled, stole second, stole third, and scored on the home run from Danny Heap. 5-2 is a hit by pitch chance, but that's not going to happen with the -6 from Mike Scott. So Wilson will bat. 1-4, he's going to ground to short. Craig Reynolds is there, 2 down. 2 up and 2 down, and now Ray Knight can hit. 4-1, and that's a possible error for the Knights card. 3-4. That is a double to center field. Double to center field for Ray Knight, but isn't an error. That's an 11. Center fielder Hatcher, his error is only a 5, so no error there. But it will be a double for Ray Knight, a 2-out double. And that brings a tying run to the plate in Rafael Santana. But do you hit for Santana here? I think you might have to go for all the offense you can get. So Davey Johnson is calling Santana back. You will lose some good defense, but you're trying for the offense in the worst way. And they're going to go to Hojo, Howard Johnson, to pinch hit. And they can bring in Kevin Elster to play short if they don't want to have, because Johnson's not very good at short. So I think what they're gonna do here is have Johnson pinch hit, and then Elster will will come to the game to play short as a much better defender. So Howard Johnson pinch hitting in a big spot with Ray Knight at second and 2 down. And boy, do you pinch run for Ray Knight, because he's a pretty slow runner. Let's see what they want to do for that. Who do they have on the bench that can run? Let's see. Lee Mazzilli's a 4. Well, with 2 outs, he's going to get the boost, so they're not going to pinch run for him. They're just going to leave it as is. Hojo is the pinch hitter. Now, the Astros have an interesting decision. It would be really, really ballsy to do it. They could intentionally walk Howard Johnson and force the Mets to go to another pinch hitter for the pitcher Aguilera, but it would be putting the tying run on base. That's kind of one of those unwritten rules you don't want to do. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and have Mike Scott go after Howard Johnson. Strategy roll, nothing happening. So Scott to Johnson. 2-6, that's a ballpark card. First time going to the Astrodome the entire game, if I'm not mistaken. First time the ballpark card has come up. So we're going to the Astrodome. Howard Johnson won't even get effect on this. It's going to be the ballpark card. We could have left Santana in there, but we didn't know that. So we go to the Astrodome. 1-3 is a single plus to center field. That means Ray Knight's going to score automatically. He will score the run automatically. Hojo is at first, and he's going to try for second. He runs at a 4. The center fielder arm, Billy Hatcher, is a +1. That would make it a 5. So 1-5, he gets a double out of this. And he does. So Hojo, a pinch hit double for Howard Johnson. And boy, Davey Johnson is pushing all the right buttons for the Mets as far as pinch hitters go. Got a pinch hit home run from Heath, and now a pinch hit double from Howard Johnson. And now Aguilera is being called back. We will get a pinch hitter. So let's see, we've used Johnson, and they're going to use Elster. So now, do they go with Mazzilli to pinch hit, or you do with Kevin Mitchell? Mitchell's the better hitter. Mazzilli's a switch hitter, though, and Mike Scott is tough on righties. So they're going to use Lee Mazzilli as a pinch hitter. He will pinch hit for the pitcher, and then the Mets will have to bring in a new pitcher in the bottom of the 7th. But the tying run is at second base, and Mike Scott, this will be batter number 27 he is facing, so he got to keep an eye on that as well. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Scott to Johnson. I'm sorry, to Mazzilli. 3-5, and that is a walk plus. By bringing in the switch hitter to bat left-handed, that forced this side of the issue as a walk plus, and Lee Mazzilli will draw the pinch hit walk. So he's aboard for Lenny Dykstra. And now, what do you do if you're the Astros? It looks like Scott is starting to fade a bit. You got Dykstra coming up, a lefty, who is much better against the righties as far as power goes, lefties as far as average goes. What do you do here? Wait a minute, why did I take him off the base? Why did I move Howard Johnson? He's still at second. My bad. He's still at second. He didn't get picked off. He's still there. All right, strategy roll. They're going to let Scott stay in the game to face Dykstra with 2 outs and 2 on in a 4-3 game. Scott, 6-2, and it's a super strikeout. Does it again. That was a 1 on the D20, so he's out of there. Dykstra is gone. Scott bows up and gets that final out. to end the inning. And now Kevin Elster will be put into the game at shortstop for the Mets. He is a 4, a 9, and a 0 for his defense. So he's a 4.90. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. And we need a new pitcher for the Mets. So while we mull over who the new pitcher is going to be, I will pause the video and be right back. Okay, new pitcher for the Mets. And he's in there to face the bottom portion of the order. That's lefty Randy Neiman. They wanted a lefty because they do have Cruz, Ashby, and Reynolds. 2 out of 3 are lefties. So they want to bring them in. But before we start that, we do go to the 7th inning stretch. Stand and sing, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Now we're ready to go. And Doug Sisk is loosening the pen just in case Neiman runs into any sort of trouble. But they wanted to have a lefty facing Jose Cruz. And that's what they got. Lefty on lefty. Randy Neiman is in to pitch to start the bottom of the 7th of a 4-3 game. 1-5. That's a walk plus, though, against the lefty. So not exactly what they were looking for to walk Jose Cruz to start the inning. Boy, Davey Johnson not liking that particular play at all. Switch hitter Alan Ashby is up. Neiman. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Infield looking to turn 2. 1-5. He's a switch hitter batting right, so it's actually a blank on this one. So Ashby will swing. 3-6. He's going to single past second. So boy, bringing in Neiman is not working, obviously, as he's going to be pulled immediately. So a 3-6 is a S4. And to get from first to third, you need a 3 or better. Cruz is only a 2, so he will have to stop at second base. But the first 2 are on. And even though the next batter is left-handed, they're not going to mess around here. They're going with Doug Sisk out of the pen to try to clean up the mess that Neiman created. A walk and a single. And that brings up Reynolds. Now, we will have a pinch hitter from Mike Scott as well, I do believe, as he is nearing his point of weakness. So, Astros got activity in their bullpen as well. I believe Charlie Kerfeld, a righty, is loosening. Right now, it is Doug Sisk facing Craig Reynolds. And another reason to bring in the righty Sisk and not worry about lefties because Craig Reynolds has a generic card. So, bringing a lefty pitcher in does not taint him at all. It will not affect him at all. So there's really no benefit to doing it. Strategy roll. 20. There's a chance of a balk on a 1 or a 2. That's a 9. No balk. So Sisk now will pitch to Reynolds. 3-3, and that's a strikeout chance. 3, he got him. So he strikes out Craig Reynolds. Huge strikeout for Doug Sisk. 1 away, and now the bench for the Astros. They will turn to left-handed hitting Terry Poole off the bench. He will get the call, the veteran. Terry Poole will be in to hit. And again, you can't bring a lefty into him because there's no effect there. So bringing in a lefty would do no good against him. He's just the same either way against lefties or righties. So Sisk now facing Poole. Nothing on the strategy roll. Sisk to Poole, 1-6, possible error on a ground ball. This could be huge if it's a ground ball. 6-6 is a ground ball back to the pitcher, Sisk, but he's a 0 error rating, so no chance of an error there. Good thing that was a 3 on the D20. Most people would have made an error, but not Sisk. He will field it. Now the question is it going to be a double play? He's a 5 double play rating, but Sisk is a -1. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's something on the chart about the pitcher used to get a +1 for a ground ball double play. I think they actually get, let's see, do they get, what do they get here? I'm thinking they get penalized for some reason, but I can't find it at the moment, and I'm not doing it live, so I can't ask RJL. Let's see here. Infield, double play depth. I don't see anything on here, so I'm at a loss at the moment. So I'm just gonna say he gets it's a 0. It has no effect. So it's a 5 here, and the pivot would be the second baseman, and that is Wally Backman. He's a -1. That drops it to a 4. So 1 to 4 for a double play, and he gets it anyway. So didn't matter what they did. Even if it was a -3, even if it was a -1, it would have been a 3, and they still would have gotten it. So as it turns out, didn't matter. 1-6-3 double play gets them out of the inning, and boy, Sisk just saved the Mets bacon and saved Randy Neiman some embarrassment for sure. We go to the 8th, still a 4-3 game, and we're going to get a new pitcher for the Astros as they just pinch hit, obviously, for Mr. Mike Scott. And coming up for the Mets, it's going to be Backman, Hernandez, and Carter, and Strawberry. So a lot of lefties there. But boy, Calhoun, do you really want to go to your only lefty who may not be that good anyway? Boy, I think you're going to stick with your best right-hander at this point, or one of your best right-handers, your best setup guy, and that is Charlie Kerfeld. So they're going to shoot the righty-lefty thing here because they need the best guy they have, and that's, other than their closer, he's the best one, Charlie Kerfeld. So Kerfeld will come on. Scott can still win it. He went 7 innings, giving up the 3 runs, but he still is in line to be the win. Gooden's still in the hook for the loss unless the Mets tie the game. Top of the 8th we go, and it's heart of the order. Backman, Hernandez, and Carter due up against Charlie Kerfeld. 6-2 is a strikeout chance, and he got him. It's a 4 against righties, but Stadium Adjuvan's a 5, and the 3 definitely fits. So Backman out on strikes. Big play there from Kerfeld to get it done. And that brings up Keith Hernandez. 1-3, wild pitch was just ball 1. 2-5, that's a strikeout chance. 10 is too high. Go to Hernandez rather. 1-6, star 1 is a ground ball to first. Glenn Davis will take care of the bag himself. One first baseman retires another. 2 down very quickly for Gary Carter. And Roger McDowell, I believe, is loosening the bullpen for the Mets just in case they don't want to stick with Sisk. 4-4 is a range play. Go to Gary Carter's card for a range check. 1-1 is a double to left field. So potential double to left for Gary Carter, but it is a range play to left field. And Jose Cruz, we've already seen as a 4. He's already taken 1 away and 1 he's let drop. So he gets a third chance to break the tie. And he can't get it. It's going to stay a double. Gary Carter with a double. So he makes up for those 3 strikeouts against Mike Scott, comes back and doubles off of Kerfeld. And that brings the tying run to the in scoring position for Darryl Strawberry. Now the question is, do you intentionally walk Strawberry and pitch to Mookie Wilson? Although Strawberry is 0 for 3 and Wilson is 1 for 3, so I think you're going to pitch to Strawberry. You'd love to have a good lefty against Strawberry to take some of his stuff away. But Kerfeld is your better hitter. But boy, if you're ever going to use Calhoun, now's the time you want to do it. So they're going to pull Kerfeld and go with Calhoun. It might be a controversial move, but they're going to do it because Strawberry much better against the righties. So they're going with Calhoun. He's supposed to be a one-trick pony right here. His only job right now is to get the left-handed hitting Darryl Strawberry. So Jeff Calhoun, not a terrible pitcher, 1-0 with no saves and a 3.71 ERA, but not as good as Kerfeld normally. But they have to play the percentages here, I think, or at least that's what they intend to do. No strategy roll needed because he can't steal and there's no pickoffs. So we just go straight to the at-bat. Calhoun against Strawberry. Lefty on lefty. 3-6 is a blank. We go to Strawberry's card. 5-1, and that's a star 4 to end the inning. Boys, that would have been a 6-1. That would have been a big difference between lefty and righty right there. But the 5-1 is a star 4, which is a ground ball to short to end the inning. But that's why you bring in Calhoun right there against the lefty. And he gets the job done, getting them to ground out to Craig Reynolds. And that sets it up for Dave Smith in the top of the 9th. But we have to get to the top of the 9th first. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, new pitcher for the Mets, I do believe, will be coming in, but we'll double check it. Let's see who's going to. It's going to be Hatcher, Doran, and Walling, top of the order. Righty, switch, and a left. So it really doesn't matter at that point who they bring in. Although Sisk only faced 2 batters, he got 3 outs. So you know what? They're going to come back with Sisk. He didn't prove anything to show them to take him out, so he's going to come back out. He can face 8 batters, so he's still good to go. And the Mets left Carter at second base. Could come back to bite him for sure. Bottom of the 8th we go. Here's Billy Hatcher. 6-6 on Sisk is the ballpark card. Going back to the Astrodome for the Billy Hatcher at bat. 5-2 is a ground ball to second. 1 away. So 1 down. And that takes us to Bill Doran, switch hitter. 3-3, that is a strikeout chance. 5 will get him. So Doran is out of there on strikes. And boy, Sisk proving his mettle right here. That brings up Denny Walling. He probably will not be available for game 2 because he's going to pitch an inning in 2/3. So, but you're still going to have McDowell and Orozco fully rested unless this game goes extra innings. Sisk, 2-3. That's a potential error on a throw. So we go to Walling. 1-3. That's a pop to short. No throw to worry about. The inning is over. So Doug Sisk does the job for the Mets as he goes an inning and 2/3, giving up nothing. So we go to the top of the 9th. As RJL might say, will we see any New York Met 9th inning magic? Well, they're going to have to do it against Dave Smith, the closer for the Astros. 4-7 with a 2.73 ERA and 33 saves. And it's going to be Mookie Wilson, Ray Knight, and Kevin Elster. And they don't have anybody else to play short unless they move. Let's see, Backman can't play there. Can Tuffle play there? Let's see if Tuffle can play short or not. They may be because they've already used Howard Johnson. He could play short. Let's see. Kevin Mitchell can play short, so they can pinch hit for him. In fact, Kevin Mitchell will hit for Elster. So it's going to be Mookie Wilson, Ray Knight, and Kevin Mitchell. So that's what we're going to go with. And if anybody gets on, pinch hitting for the pitcher would be Tim Tuffle. But right now, top of the 9th, it is Mookie Wilson that will lead things off. He's trying to repeat what he did in the 5th when he singled, stole second, and stole third, and scored. 4-3, Astros, top of the 9th. Good one here in Game 1 of the NLCS. If all the games are like this, it's going to be an exciting series. Smith, 5-5. That's a super strikeout against a righty, but Wilson's a switch, batting left. It's a blank. Go to Mookie Wilson. 4-5, and that is a single to right field for Mookie Wilson. So he's doing it again, just like he did in the 5th inning. He's on. -1 attempt from Smith. 6 there. It's a 1-5 for an attempt from Mookie Wilson. It's 11. He has to stay put. It's going to bring up Ray Knight. Infield is halfway. Smith, 6-1. That's a super strikeout, so Ray Knight is out of there. 1 down. And now that's going to bring up the pinch hitter, Kevin Mitchell. He's pinch hitting for Elster. Now, to 1, so Mookie Wilson can steal this time. On a 16, that would be a +1, be a 17, +1, it'd be a 1 to 18. And he's in there. It's a possible throwing error on Ashby as well. Ashby is a 9 on his throwing error rating. No error there, but Wilson will steal second base, his third stolen base of the game, and he gets into scoring position with only one out for Kevin Mitchell. Strategy roll again, nothing happening. Smith to Mitchell, 4-4. That's a super strikeout again, and Mitchell is gone. So Dave Smith gets the super strikeout twice in a row. And now the Mets only have 2 guys left on the bench to pinch hit. That's the backup catcher, Ed Hearn, and this guy, Tim Tuffle. So Tim Tuffle, normally a little bit better against lefties, but they don't have any choice at this point. They're out of players. They've used everybody to try to get back in the game at this point, so they're down to Tuffle. They have no choice. Tuffle is the last chance for the Mets. That leaves Ed Hearns, the only guy on the bench left. Whereas the Astros have only used Poole, and that's it. They got their full complement of bench. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Smith to Tuffle, 2 outs, tying run at second. Top of the 9th. 2-5. Against a lefty, that would have been an automatic out, but against a righty, it's a blank. So Tuffle gets the swing. 4-3, and he's going to double to center field to tie this ball game. Boy, Davey Johnson pulled the right string again. A pinch hit double. We've had 2 pinch hit doubles and a pinch hit home run. Dave Smith has just blown the save, and the Mets have tied the game at 4-4, and the Astro fans are in dejection. Now the Mets looking to try to take the lead. Nothing on the Havoc. Smith to Dykstra, 2-6. That is an automatic out with the star line, and it will be a 4, which is a ground ball to third to end the inning. But we go to the bottom of the 9th, tied at 4. And we will need a new pitcher, of course, for the Mets as they pinch hit for the pitcher. So coming up for the Astros is Glenn Davis. That means Roger McDowell, a right-hander. Right-hander Roger McDowell will be coming on for the Mets. And he does have long relief ratings, so he gets to pitch several innings if they're still going that far. He is in the game to pitch. That's going to leave Orozco and Anderson, the only 2 left in the bullpen for the Mets. And on the bench, they only have Ed Hearn. So Glenn Davis will be coming on. And credit Doug Sisk, because if it wasn't for Doug Sisk, I don't think the Mets would be in this position. But here we go. Bottom of the 9th, tied at 4. Here's Glenn Davis against McDowell. 5-5 is a hit by pitch. 10 plus the 4 is a 14. That fits. Glenn Davis. First batter at the bottom of the 9th, and he gets hit by a pitch by McDowell. Certainly don't think he was intentionally trying to do that. Strategy roll. Nothing happening. That's going to bring up Kevin Bass. 6-4. That's a double question mark against a switch hitter batting left. A 1-4 is an automatic out, but that's a 15. So now blank. That means Kevin Bass swings. 4-2 is a star 1, ground ball to first, possible double play, but not likely. He's a 2, nothing from the first baseman. The pivot is the shortstop Kevin Mitchell, who's a -1, so it's a 1 for a pivot for a double play. And they don't turn it. It's a 2 though. They will get the force on Glenn Davis, and Kevin Bass is on, but no double play. It's going to go 3-6. As the relay was not, Mitchell just held that ball. He didn't want to throw it away. So 1 down. Bass is now the new runner. Strategy roll. It's a 4. He can attempt to steal. He's a 13. +1 from McDowell is a 14. +1 from Carter is a 15. 1-15. Bass is going. And he's in there. Stolen base, Kevin Bass. So he steals second. The winning run is now in scoring position with 1 out. For Jose Cruz, they could walk Cruz because first base doesn't matter. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Take the bat out of Cruz's hands. That brings up Alan Ashby. Strategy roll. Coming up now, nothing going on. Bass, good base runner at a 4. McDowell, 5-4 is a blank. We go to Ashby. 3-5. 3-5's a single to left field. This could be the ball game. A 3-5 single to left field. When you single to left field to score from second, you add 1 to the run rating. It makes him a 5. The left fielder arm, in this case, Mookie Wilson, is a +1. Makes it a 6. He's going to score automatically without even being a throw. And the ball game is over. The Astros, after blowing the lead, come back to win it by the score of 5-4. And they are mobbing Alan Ashby for that game-winning hit. And there is your final. Alan Ashby did it. They intentionally walked Jose Cruz to get to Ashby, which was the right play, but apparently not in this case. So the Astros walk it off. After the Mets fought so hard to come back, they walk it off to end the ball game and win it by the score of 5-4. I'll come back with the totals. All right, we're back to wrap this thing up. Final line score for the Houston Astros: 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 4 left. For the Mets, 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 6 left. Winning pitcher, Dave Smith. He blew the save but gets the win. And the losing pitcher, a very dejected Roger McDowell. So the Astros, after blowing Game 1, seemingly blowing the lead in Game 1, they had a 4-0 lead and let it get away. The Mets tied it at 4 in the top of the 9th. But then they come back and win it with a run of their own in the bottom half and walk away with a victory in Game 1. And boy, they would have, if they had lost that game, I'm sure they would have thought or felt that it had gotten away from them. So Game 1 goes to the Astros. They lead the series 1-0. And Game 2, I do believe the pitching matchup is Nolan Ryan against Bobby Ojeda, but I'll have to double check it to know for sure. But I'm off the top of my head, that's what I believe the Game 1 matchup is. So hope you enjoyed that presentation of a very exciting Game 1 of the 1986 NLCS. Game 1 of the American League Championship Series will be on Payoff Pitch, and it will be the live stream on Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, assuming the hurricane doesn't, I don't think up in Virginia the hurricane's going to get that far. We'll get rain, but I don't think we're going to get anything that would cause any problems, at least I hope not. No power outages or stuff like that. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Hoping just regular rain. And so looking forward to that. That'll be the Yankees and the Angels from Anaheim, Game 1 on Payoff Pitch. And if it's exciting as this Game 1 here in the NLCS, then I'm definitely going to look forward to it. I know Mike Witt's going for the Angels. I'm not sure who's going for the Yankees. It might be Dennis Rasmussen, but don't quote me on it. I have to look for it. Again, it's not as played because those teams did not play in the actual ALCS, so I can kind of do what I want to on that one. I'm trying to stick to strictly as played in the NLCS since these are the actual teams. So, boy, wow, talk about a wild one. Whew. I enjoyed it, though. It was fun. To me, it was fun. Inside Pitch, a very fun game. A lot of ups and downs and twists and turns. As RJL says, the game is never over. So even though the Mets were down 4-0 after 4, I didn't feel like the game was over. I thought the Mets still had a chance to come back, and in fact, they did. And they did it against the closer of the Astros, so that proves they can get to Dave Smith when they need to. However, the Astros prove they can get to Roger McDowell when they have to. So that's the way it goes. Game 1 in the books. Met fans certainly not happy about it. Astro fans certainly are happy about it. So until Saturday, which will be the live stream between the Yankees and the Angels, that's going to do it from here. Enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And until Saturday, I will see you all down the road.